In order to understand our readings for today, it is imperative to understand the story of the people of Israel, as told in the Old Testament, as our own story. Conversely, if we don't understand the story of the people of Israel, there is no way we will understand our own story as adopted sons and daughters in the family of God. Our first reading for today from the book of Genesis is a good reminder of this necessity. The story we hear today of the call of Abram follows closely on the heels of the Tower of Babel episode, where the human family conspired amongst themselves, saying, "Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we shall be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." These lines reveal a central characteristic of spiritual metaphysics, for they describe the complex relationship of good and bad inclinations at war within us since the fall. Regarding the former, the people of Babel realize that as surely as they live, they will die. But this, quite rightly, does not sit well with them. Thus, heeding the natural intuition that we were created for life and not death, they seek a means of preserving life and of attaining immortality. That this is the case is revealed by the people's desire to make a name for themselves and to avoid being scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. This suggests that the people desired to avoid obscurity, either through a life of wandering or by fading from cultural memory. On the face of it, this might not seem all that bad from our perspective, but this only reveals our own spiritual turpitude. In a way similar to Adam and Eve, the people of Babel in this episode are outright rejecting the command God had given the human family. In creating the human creature, God had blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it." Here, the people of Babel refuse to fill the earth and desire instead to gather themselves in one place. The people of Babel refuse to live on God's terms and instead seek to define life on their own terms. Thus, they say to themselves, "Let us build a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and thereby let us make a name for ourselves." In this, the people of Babel refuse to have their identity tied to relationship with God, and instead seek to claim heaven, that is, to seize divinity for themselves, falling prey to the very same temptation of our first parents in the garden. Fellow sinners, this is the same error we fall victim to numerous times a day. We simply want to be known. We desire fame, and if not fame, at least to make a lasting impression upon history. Of itself, this is not all bad. The point is, rather, that as creatures created in God's image, our identity is not built up by seeking to create a life on our own terms. It is rather shattered into 1,000 little pieces. We saw this last week when the devil tempted Jesus with the power to control all the kingdoms of the world, to which Jesus responded, echoing Deuteronomy 6 verse 13, "You shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall you serve." As creatures created in the image of God, we desire immortality by our very nature. We want to make a lasting name for ourselves, and there is good in this. For God did not make death, and he does not delight in the death of the living, as the Book of Wisdom teaches us. Rather, God created all things so that they might exist, and exist without end by sharing in his immortality. But the only way to avail ourselves of the immortality we desire by nature is to have our name inscribed on the very heart of God, where, as St. Matthew tells us, neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal.
If you enjoyed this, hit that subscribe button and check us out at FRESHImage.org, where you'll find commentaries and articles on countless topics important for becoming the unique image of God you have been created to be. And be sure to check out FRESHImageMedia.com, our sister company, to discover Christian home goods and gifts deeply rooted in Scripture that you won't find anywhere else.